Can you tell me your entire journey of actually, using Instagram as a regular, Instagram user to somebody becoming very important on Instagram? Tell me a little bit more about that journey.
I was just such a performer, and I've always loved the art of dance that I knew that like my parents were like, we knew that something like this was gonna happen. So I started making dance videos by myself in my room. This was privately. This was when I was probably in the 8th, 9th grade. It was a long time ago, but it was like just for my friends. It was like 300 people who I knew from my school, my friends and stuff, and only they could see. I was very fascinated by the content creation industry, and I thought that there would be.
I was just
such
taking
a
off that time.
Yeah, it was just taking off, and it was something that I've always been fascinated by. Like it was like, you can actually follow your dreams and be paid to like have fun. And I started posting probably like 3-4 times a week. Like I started like very aggressively, and that's when Instagram was featuring videos. So they were like pushing reels a lot. So my first video that went viral was 10 million views.
Wow.
And soon after, 1-2 months after, 15 million. So basically overall in the lockdown phase, I had 4 videos over 10 million and 2 at 27 million views.
Hello everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of Back to Class. Back to Class is a series which brings you successful alumni entrepreneurs from the Atlas ecosystem. My name is Omkar and I'm delighted this time to welcome Ishika. I unfortunately haven't had the privilege to teach Ishika extensively, but I have fond memories of delivering a boot camp, a session with her, and also engaging with her online. And I'm super proud to have Ishika over here launching her own SaaS platform for influencers. Being a social media content creator herself, it's just amazing to have Ishika back to class. So hey, welcome back to class.
Hi, I'm so glad to be here.
Lovely. Let's start off right off the bat, right? I'm going to ask a bunch of really millennially question, okay? And you're gonna really help me understand. Can you help me explain how does the world of content creator economy per se work, and what are the kind of business opportunities which have kind of arisen in the last few years?
So I think content creation has always been there for like probably like 10 years, but like when YouTube creators started and all, but I think after COVID it started to boost really a lot because people understood the value the content brings. It's not just making the video, it's getting the sales, it's getting brand awareness. A lot of these brands actually became what they are right now because of social media. Like I would say like companies like Mama Earth and all these people like M Caffeine, they started growing because of social media, and that's why COVID actually did them good. Because online was getting so much attraction, the only way to attract people to new products, new concepts, even just brand awareness, social media plays a really big role. So with how the content industry works is from my angle, I think it's a little different. I would like how you would see a newspaper like a Times of India. You get value from it because of their viewership, their readership, their circulation power, right? And I think with content creators, each of them is like a media house. Each content creator is their own media house, and very targeted media house, because whatever content you create is the kind of audience you're going to attract. But if you're looking at a creator, like you can pick a luxury influencer for a product, you can pick a dance influencer for something else. There's so many ways to go about promoting a product, and there's so many ways to even go wrong with it. Overall, it's just a platform where you can reach out to people, and that's where most brands get their scope, through social media.
Got it. I want to rewind a little bit. I remember this is around 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
And I have a very good memory of this. I think you had come over for a session or a boot camp at Atlas. And you ended up asking me a couple of really, really good questions.
Yeah.
And we had a short conversation afterwards, right at the entrance, right? And I was just, going for my PhD around that same time.
Yeah.
And I still remember going back and saying that, hey, you know what, there's this girl called Ishika, you must be, 17 that time?
Yeah, probably.
And full of energy. And I told the admissions team that, hey, you know what, I hope she joins because she's one of the smartest girls I have come across, very bright. And that time you had an entrepreneurial
Yes.
idea, right? What was that about?
So there were two boot camps that I did. The first boot camp, I actually, what I wanted to do was consultancy to a certain level, where it was actually Gen Z influencer, Gen
Yes.
Z creator, no, Gen Z people who were going to be consultants. So it was just me,
Yes.
my friends, and we were like, we Gen Zs have a very different way of speaking. Their
Yes.
lingo is different, and if you don't understand the language we
Yeah.
speak, it's very hard to market to
The
us.
buying behavior is different.
Yeah, and the thing is also the reason why Gen Z is so important to capture is they not only like have their own consumption in their hand, but also the full families. Like
Yeah.
whichever movie you're watching, the child is always selecting at the restaurants, TikTok.
Yeah.
You understand like where you want to go, which location you want to go for the vacation. Like
Yeah.
even real estate, like there's a lot of things that if there's something that attracts a kid a lot, like they're going to
takes
persuade
priority.
the parents to buy it. So I feel like once you understand Gen Z and market to them efficiently, it's very easily like you'll get a lot of returns from it. So that's why I wanted to have Gen Z consultants, and I named the company Yeet It.
Yes, now I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, it was YEETIT.
Yes.
And it was like a very funny logo I
Yeah.
made, all Gen Z slang. So Yeeted by itself is a Gen Z slang.
Yeah.
And it used to be very popular when I was 17. Now no one uses it. But it was basically winging it. The meaning of Yeeted is like winging it.
Yeah.
When I went to companies, my pitch was, my company's name is Yeet It, and they were all like, that's so funny and all. And I was like, you know why? Because if you don't understand my logo and my name of the company, that means you don't understand our language, which
Yeah.
means you can never market to us.
Yeah.
So that's what the idea was, and I'm actually coincidentally like going back into consulting. I'll tell you a little bit about that. So I've actually really enjoyed it because I knew that I had these insightful ideas from a different angle, right? From a Gen Z's angle. All the companies, they go so into like the finances and the ROIs and all of that. They don't understand small things that could actually like interest the Gen Z so much that you would get that much sales out of it. So that's why I was like, I was doing this for socials. It was so much fun. Like I enjoyed consulting.
Lovely. No, I think it's definitely the need of the hour. The other day I was speaking at an event, and there was a film very recently released,
Yeah.
which was supposed to be very Gen Z oriented.
Okay.
Bollywood film, big Bollywood superstars and sons
Yeah.
and daughters were a part of it.
Okay. Yeah.
And
know.
and it was very Gen Z focused. But I think they completely missed the mark when it comes to what do really Gen Z want. And fancy producers who
Yeah.
are sitting in their fancy couches thinking about, oh, you know what, this is what Gen Z want. Dealing with students right now, I think they're completely missing the mark.
Yeah.
Right? And they are enforcing their worldview about what they think Gen Z is. But honestly, what Gen Zs want is like significantly different. For example, I was completely appalled by the growth of the streetwear industry, right? And I'm checking out all the students everywhere, early 20s, they're sporting streetwear. And I'll never be able to wrap my head around that, why is streetwear so expensive and so in vogue.
Yeah.
But the Gen Zs get it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let the Gen Zs create content for Gen Zs.
Exactly.
And let not millennials or baby boomers try to enforce a worldview. So, you know,
Yeah, especially with content, Gen Z is, it's in and out. Like,
Yeah.
I think millennials would try to make ads, Gen Zs to make content. Like, it's like,
Very big difference.
it's like when you have ads also, like the way they make an ad is for television ads. The way we consume content is nothing like that. As soon as we spot an ad, we block it and we skip, right? So the way that you need to make content for Gen Z is just so different that you need to understand it from us.
Yeah. No, and I don't even agree to the whole fact that, you know, Gen Zs gradually are going to be in decision-making powers, right?
Yeah.
In fact, most of the time they are in decision-making powers,
Yeah.
right? But now in decision-making seats, you have millennials, okay? Or like the late Gen Ys or Gen Xs, right? And they're thinking in a manner, right? And we millennials are thinking in a manner, and be it even about education,
Yeah.
right? I am delivering education to a Gen Z thinking that, hey, I enjoy it. Maybe the Gen Z kid or student would enjoy it. But everything's changed right
Yeah.
now, right? Tell me a little bit more. I'm very fascinated about when you got into the world of content creating, I still remember the second part of the conversation after Yeet It was you were telling me about, pardon me if I mispronounce it, tutoing. Tutting, right? And that was like, wow, okay, what is tutting, right? And you started off your journey even about creating content about tutting. Can you tell me your entire journey of actually, using Instagram as a regular, Instagram user, to somebody becoming very important on Instagram and actually enabling hundreds of brands to actually leverage you as a content creator to achieve success. So tell me a little bit more about that journey.
Like, to understand me as a creator, I think we would have to go a little bit really behind, where I was always a performer, okay?
Yes.
I've loved like showing people dance. Like, anyone used to come home, I should make them sit and see me dance. Like
without your parents coming and telling it.
I was like the biggest attention seeker, basically. Like, at some point, like, I used to dance inside the car so that people around like point and laugh at me. Like, they see that, oh, I'm dancing so well and stuff. So like, I used to actually, like, the time I used to fit in the car, like, this was when I was like very small, like probably like 5-6 years old. I used to fit in the car, I used to stand and dance for my parents. So I was just such a performer, and I've always loved the art of dance, that I knew that, like, my parents were like, we knew that something like this was going to happen. So I started making dance videos by myself in my room. This was privately. This was when I was probably in the 8th, 9th grade. It's a long time ago. But it was like just for my friends. It was like 300 people who I knew from my school, my friends and stuff, and only they could see. Then after that, lockdown came in. I was really bored. I was very fascinated by the content creation industry, and I thought that there would be
I was just
such
taking
a fun.
off that time.
Yeah, it was just taking off, and it was something that I've always been fascinated by. Like, it was like, you can actually follow your dreams and be paid to like have fun, basically. It sounded really like cool to me, so I started getting into it. I started understanding people's journeys. I started studying content very heavily. I used to basically have 10 creators and study their whole content journey throughout the years. Like, what video they posted when, how the views have started growing, what IP they caught, and then they built that. Because with content creators, it's not just one thing you do. Is the thing that you do, you need to do it again and again to grow. You need to be something that you need to be known for. So I just understood content from everyone that I like. Indian creators, abroad. There was Matt Stefanina, there was Ditto. Ditto is a girl who I learned tutting from online, obviously. And like, I just loved their journey. So then I started in lockdown, second phase, actually very late. I started off with TikTok actually, but that closed very quickly. So then I started on Instagram, second phase of lockdown. And I started posting probably like 3-4 times a week. Like, I started like very aggressively. And I knew that I was going to get a lot of like hate. I knew I was going to get a lot of judgment, especially when you're starting out. Everyone like, oh, she's trying to be a creator, like, she's like, I don't like that phase. Was just like, let them say what they want to say. I think I can do this. And I started posting 4 times a week, and that's when Instagram was featuring videos. So they were like, pushing reels a lot. So my first video that went viral was 10 million views.
Wow.
And soon after, 1-2 months after, 15 million. So basically, overall, in the lockdown phase, I had 4 videos over 10 million and 2 at 27 million views. And that was just crazy growth, right? Like, that just one video made me a creator. I remember I was basically at 4,000 followers when I started posting 4 times a week. Then it grew to 50,000, and 50,000 to 150,000 was 4 days. So I grew in 4 days 100,000 followers, and just because of that one video that hit 27 million views. So I feel like that instant growth really just goes to your head, right? Like, you see every time you wake up in the morning, there's some like 15-20,000 followers additions, and I was like going crazy, like, and I remember, like, I think I was at 40,000 followers when I had my first brand deal. And that was with Metro Shoes. And so they asked me, what's your quote for your, like, 2 reels and 2 stories, and I was like, I don't know, I've never done this before. So I asked a few creators, some influencers, some family friends of mine, who I asked, like, what do I charge and stuff. So they gave me a rough ballpark, and I was like, there's no way a brand's gonna pay that. Like, you've got to be kidding me. And like, I quoted that price, and I was like, my first brand deal, okay, I'll tell you the price since it was a long time ago, 40,000 rupees. And I was at 40,000 followers. And I was going crazy. Like, I was like, this is not possible. You can't earn this much. And
for 2 reels and 2 stories.
For 2 reels and 2 stories. And I was just like pinching myself because I was like, this is insane. Then as soon as I grew 100,000.
And they did not bat an eye. They are like, yeah, do it.
Yeah, they didn't even negotiate. So I was like, should I quote it more? But yeah, it was so much fun. Like, it was like, and I loved making that video also. So Varun actually helped me make that video, the first video. And it was so much fun. And then at 100,000 followers, I got reached out by a content creation, like a agency, like an influencer marketing agency called Monk Entertainment.
Yeah, and they're one of the bigger names, right?
They're really big, and I was also just shocked that like they are like they see potential in me and they want to sign me on and stuff. So I was very hesitant. I was like Ranveer Alabade was the face of it, and he's a big creator, right? So then I was like more comfortable, and I told my dad to go speak to them saying, is this legit? And all. It was like I was like a baby, like I was like not understanding the industry, not understanding how it works, contracts and signing and everything. You want to be careful, right? So that happened, and from there it's just been a journey. I think growth has been really good. Now I'm 570,000 followers, and now I've started YouTube as well. YouTube has not been that long. I think it's been probably like a year, less than a year, like probably 8-9 months, I feel. And that's also grown to 180,000 followers now, subscribers. And I think now I've just understood content in and out. Like, I just know how social media works. I know I can predict what kind of videos can go viral, how. Like, of course, there are down times, and you know, you have to keep adapting to audience changes and stuff. But like, I've just understood what I want to do as a creator, and that's how the journey started. And now we're here.
No, that was a very, very cool story.
Yeah,
brilliant. You know, I wanna highlight a very important part. What you said over here is that, you know, a lot of, maybe there are content creators out there who might have really good quality content, right? And you know, the world might be missing out on that just because they are kind of, you know, shy or be worried about judgments, right? Online judgments, right? And it bows people down a lot. It really, people start thinking that, hey, you know what are people gonna say? What are my friends gonna say? They're gonna think that, you know, I'm a wannabe, this, that. How do you actually develop that mental resilience? Because you also thought about that, right? How do you develop that kind of mental resilience to that, hey, you know what, let me just ignore these naysayers?
So I feel like the judgment only comes when like you're not successful. I feel like once, like now, if you have grown to a level and you've stuck your head into it saying, this is what I want to do, I don't care about what people are saying, then after that the judgment stops. Like, what are they going to say now, you know? Like, this is something I've been wanting to do. I've achieved that dream of being a creator. And I feel like what happened was I was very confident in what I did. Like, I made dance videos, and I felt like, I think this is what I'm good at and this is what I want to do. And I had my close friend groups who were obviously like very supportive of me. Lots of close friends also said, don't do it. But you know, like, you have to like pick your group of people who support you and whatever you want to do. And I think overall it's just how badly you want it. Like, it's not like judgment will come in anything you do, and as long as you're doing what you are happy in, like, no one's going to stop you.
Got it. You mastered the content creator economy, I can say that, and then you started identifying a big opportunity, and that led to the launch of your startup.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit more about how you've managed creating a SaaS company. There are certain challenges as well. And how is it actually going to be a very big boost, a very big impetus to the content creator economy and the industry?
So I always liked the space, the industry, since before I was a content creator. And I knew that this is something that brands will really value. And what happened was, in India right now, the content space is so fast changing, and the creators who are coming in every day, that thousands and millions, and it's very hard for you to manage your relations with them. And right now it's all agency model, where like what happens is right now when I do a brand deal, there are usually 4 agencies between me and the brand. So that could be the marketing industry agency, then the influencer marketing industry, then the talent management industry,
Wow.
then me. So the way that the space is so like separated, and each of them are taking that commission split,
yeah.
and overall, like, it just becomes just like, I want to work with the brand, I want to speak to the brand, I want to discuss my idea with them, I want to build that relation for future brand deals. Because what happens right now is, if one of the employees who was in charge of me falls through within any of the 4 agencies, like,
It's gone.
then you can't contact that brand again, like,
Yeah.
it's just gone. So that's how, like, I think the value of brands, and when they understand this, that like the value of influencers and the relations with them is that's what comes when my company came in, where I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna give you a software, a platform where you can reach out to your influencers and build that relation with them and store that. So we have a database of 4 lakh creators now, and they can basically reach out to all of these creators, and that conversation will be stored in the platform. We have a database of 4 lakh creators now, and the companies can basically reach out to the influencers and build their relationship on the platform. So the conversations will be stored, and you can even assess the influencers' followers' demographics, psychographics, even their interests of what industries content they're consuming online. Even the posts when they go live, the engagements are stored real-time basis. You can basically even understand how the post, when it goes live, you also have a Google Drive link to it, right? So that's also stored in the conversation of that influencer. So it's like a Pinterest board of your influencer. It's very, very good user interface and everything, where it's just managing all your relationships. And basically over a long period of time, like how I told you, I was at 40,000 followers, then 150,000, and very quickly now we're here. If the brand had actually made a relationship with the influencer at that time, where suppose you want to make a 1-year contract with the influencer, it's very difficult to do it right now. It's not like that 4 agencies involved. It's going to be, first of all, very costly, and second of all, like, not convenient enough. So building that long-term relationship with influencers, where a platform is the way to go.
And you were also mentioning, right, like the problem of interns, because interns are typically managing it, and they leave, everything goes, right?
Yeah, so that's what with these 4 agencies, if one of them leaves, they take all the relationships that they've built with the influencers with them, and you can never contact that influencer again. The influencer can never contact you again, and also you forget that, like, I feel like when a brand deal is made, there are a few brands that we are in direct contact with, that I can make better content for, because first of all, I understand what they are looking for. I can shoot my ideas to them, they can tell me what they want changed, and then I shoot the content. Right now what happens is, if there are many agencies involved in it, I get a brief that also 10,000 other influencers have got, and my hands are tied on how to create content for you. Like, I'll just make the video and post it, but the viewership, the value you won't get until, like, I put in my expertise, what you've hired me for, right? So I remember in Navratri, Pawns is one of my brands that I've been working with closely, and they are very, very aware of this problem, and they are very happy taking my ideas and all, because I've shown them what it can do. So in the Navratri season, I did a campaign for Pawns, where I made a dance step for each skincare step. And it was teaching Garba simultaneously while teaching dance steps of skincare. So basically, that video got 1.2 million views organically, and that's like very shocking for me. I've never got that kind of engagements for brands organically. Usually the brands pay, and then of course you can get videos to millions. But actually, people came to me saying that I learned Garba through your video.
I want to ask you a very important question here. There's an ugly side to social media fame as well, and I'm sure that you would be countering a lot of trolls, a lot of people who have nothing better to do but criticize somebody just because they can, just because they have access to internet, and it takes a toll mentally, right? How do you deal with it? Right, you're facing this, right?
Yeah.
And how do you deal with it?
So I think at this point you just need to have thick skin. Like, it's always going. There's no one right way to say that this is how I deal with hate. I do get a lot. sometimes on like look, sometimes on personality, sometimes on just general, it gets very in depth and they're very specific. And the thing is, they comment, they'll DM, they'll have like some videos of, if it goes viral for the wrong reasons, they'll comment on those things, like it gets very messy. But I feel like overall I like what I do, and I'm not going to stop doing that for anything. And like I just feel like this is something I enjoy doing. I'm dancing. I still think there's less scope for hate in dancing. When we are comedy influencers and all these kind of influencers, gets a lot more. But because the worst they can do is like, oh, you don't dance well. I was like, it's fine. I do it for me. So I'm not doing this for anyone else. I've always been a performer. I've always been a dancer. So I'm just like happy doing what I like.
And there's another flip side, right, which is this extreme craze. Because I remember once, I think I also messaged you about it, that you had reposted something where there was a fan page for you, right? How do you actually react to something where there is like a parallel page which is running, which is essentially reposting whatever you're doing, and as a fan page? How do you react to that? Like, because it's the other extreme end.
I feel like this is something that actually keeps me going at this point. There's not just one. I think there are, like, from what I know, I think there are 10 to 15 accounts like
really?
this. And there are few accounts, 4 to 5 accounts that post every day. And
like there's an admin somewhere.
There's an admin somewhere who actually makes edits for me every day. And I just feel like I'm impacting someone that much, that they enjoy me so much that they're like want to support me like that. And I feel like there's no better feeling. I feel like that one fan page can take out all the hate comments, misery that I have in my head instantly. Like I feel like that's something like I'm just so flattered, like, and I just feel like I've made that community of mine who has supported me so long. Like there's one fan page of mine, I think, that started when I was around 40,000 followers. So like people who have actually supported me from then to now is just crazy. And in fact, one more story about this, like just small moments of happiness that I just like keeps me going, is I met this creator once at a Meta office, okay? And Meta keeps holding these events for all of us. And she comes up to me saying, I don't know if you remember this, but 2 years ago, I met you at Hamleys and I took a picture with you. And because I liked your content so much and I like dance so much, and like you inspired me to actually make my own page. And 2 years later, I meet her at Meta office, and she's a creator now. She's grown to many followers. I don't know how much, but she's grown to that many followers, and she's like, I'm inspired by you. And I was like, the way that I still think about it and I smile every day. Like, you just feel so motivated to get back to what you're doing. Because it is a very valuable career path. It's not, people don't disrespect it anymore. At some point it was always like, she's just making videos. But now they understand how the industry works, where there is, it's a proper business model, right? It's not freelancing how it used to be now.
No, I can totally imagine, right? Because you first think of content. You have to blaze through a creative block. Right? That's going to be actually my next question, that how do you manage with a creative block? Because sometimes brands also can come up with something unrealistic expectation. But now I'm looking at this journey, right? And is this the journey? You can tell me. You have to first think of content, right? Like, then you have to think of steps. You have to think of the timing. You have to think of camera placement. Then you have to think of the edit. Then you have to think of the time of like posting. Then you have to see whether, is it getting the desired reach? And is the desired reach actually a good reflection of massive work? How much time does it take?
Everything and everyone, it's like not even that. You have to think of outfits, hair, makeup.
I can't think of hair.
So much stuff. It's so much stuff that you have to think about when you post up a video. It's not just something randomly whipped out, right? It's a lot of thought. That because I've studied content so much, I've seen my own page so much. Like, one thing about content creators is they stalk themselves massively. Like, I see my page every day. I see all my reels. Like, I keep scrolling through myself. Like, you have to be self-obsessed at that point. Not because I'm self-obsessed, but because I need to understand how content works, right? Which video did good, why, what is one thing that I can replicate in this video to make it an IP, like intellectual property, where people, they come back to it. Like tutting, what you were saying, is basically this dance form that not many people, so it's like, it's like just making shapes with your hands.
Yeah, it looked
90
cool with a
degree.
shadow as well, right?
Yeah, it's like it's very like it's just so it's very creative and it's something that
Yeah.
I like to do and not many people know it. So I want to like capitalize that on an IP, and I started making a lot of tattooing videos, and I started making my room videos. They really enjoyed my room, the one with the
big
lights and all. Like I'm
the mirror
recognized by
company should pay you a lot of money.
exactly. Like no, my mom built my career for that because she designed it. So I keep telling my mom like I have you to thank for my career. But yeah, it was a very cool thing that you have to always like constantly think. And the thing is, you take sometimes few of my videos have taken like a month worth of efforts, right?
Wow,
And
really?
it gets over in one day of posting, and then you should start all over again. You know,
Yeah.
like there's some videos that will take up so much time, but some videos also very time pass, and it does well still. So sometimes you just have to understand trends and do the trend how it is, just so that you are relevant, and not because it takes a lot of time and effort, but just because you want to be there. And you know, actually. Not many people know about this in part of this industry is you get song promotions.
Oh, really?
So like I don't know what percentage, but probably like 40 to 50% of my content is actually promoted because I was using that song. Like Sony Music, Universal Music, all of these companies.
So that Bobby Deol entrance track is right now
a lot of people are paid for it.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Wow.
like just to make videos on that. Like on YouTube, they are very like YouTube. They tell you to add that paid promotion label even on song promotions. On Instagram, there's no such thing because you're just using the songs and you're making whatever content you have to do. Sometimes they tell you like I don't know if you know this, but there was like this. Song campaign of like how you have to do that 0.5 degree video
Shit,
that
I'm too
Tate
old for
song.
this.
No, it's very small trend. Like and people they basically made it become a trend by actually telling all the influencers to post videos about it. So like all the trends that you're seeing right now is very carefully designed
It's
by
orchestrated,
these
yeah.
companies. You know, like it's everything you're getting influenced by. Like you never know what is paid, what is not.
And it's well planned.
It's so well planned, and we make things a trend. Like Meta makes it a trend. Like they decide what they want, which video for it to go viral, and they make it viral. So like that's why like there's so much to this industry that not many people know about. Like sometimes you say that it's such a cringe trend that everyone is doing, but you're paid to do that trend. Why would you not do it?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and then you become more relevant also doing those
And
trends.
cringe or not cringe, you're consuming it.
Yeah.
It's getting the result.
It's getting the results, and like Meta wants you to do it. That's why they are actually commissioning people. I actually did I did 2 contracts with Meta and YouTube. And YouTube, it was like a contract where I was required to post 3 videos a week for 6 months, and it was like a monthly contract. Like it's
Irrespective, whatever you want.
whatever you want.
Yeah, that's pretty
just
cool, yeah.
post. And I was like, okay.
I was gonna do that anyways.
No, actually, that's when I didn't have a YouTube account.
Ah,
I
okay.
made it because of the contract,
Sweet.
and now I'm like at YouTube, and because I did so much content because it was commissioned. Now I've actually had that many followers, I can get brand deals through that page now. So it's crazy. This content space is like everyone, like it's just overwhelming at times because there's so much happening all the time that you need to like be dynamic and like get that, like, because once you get obsessed with numbers, it also gets to your head, you know, because like I gained a lot of followers very quickly recently, and now it's going into negative. Like I've lost I think 10 to 15,000 followers in the last 1 month, and because I grew 80,000 in like 2-3 days. So like, you know, that numbers, you get so like you have to get too involved in it, and it takes a toll on your mental health if your video doesn't do well. You've put in so much time and effort, you've spent so much money in it, and like it doesn't do well. But then it's just like life, you know, like it just happens. It's you just have to have thick skin and just have your eye on the prize, I guess.
Got it. Last segment, bunch of really rapid fire questions.
Yes.
Okay, number 1, I think this is one of the most important words what you will speak. Top 3 advices for aspiring content creators.
I think just start and be so consistent, and basically, like, I feel like, so there's a point, okay, this is rapid fire, but basically just post a lot and just don't care about
Naysayers, yeah?
just don't care about the judgment. It will fly out. In fact, if you post every day, the haters won't have time to keep up with you.
Yeah.
And it'll just be noise in the background.
Got it. Your favorite memory back at Atlas?
I think I'm forgetting the name. There's a college, like a inter Atlas College Fest, where I was the president of Futurepreneurs.
Yeah.
So Futurepreneurs.
Nice club, huh? Some good professors started it.
Yes, you started it. Yeah, but it was like so much fun. Like I think just being in Futurepreneurs and talking about like having events and being able to like call people, it was a lot of fun.
Got it. If you can spill the beans, the highest you've charged for a brand. You can give a range.
I don't think I can say.
Okay.
But a range I can say between I don't know if I can say. I'm not sure.
Okay, fair
That's
enough.
not.
The brands which you don't name the brands, but something what the brands get terribly wrong when they approach you.
So I feel like a lot of big brands, that it works for them, I guess, but they don't get the best out of me, is if they have like a pre-decided script that I just have to follow.
Got it.
So then the engagements are not up to me.
Got it. The biggest myth of this industry.
I can't think of. You tell me a myth, I'll tell you if it's
Okay.
true or not.
Okay. A myth is that influencers, a lot of content creators actually end up buying their followers, and there are like real click farms.
There are a
where-
lot of creators that do, but like brands and other creators know instantly, because you buy the followers and your engagements just drop. You actually make yourself less valuable.
Oh, okay. Do influencers get blacklisted from
Yeah.
like brands? And the
Yeah,
brand?
because sometimes brand deals go wrong. Sometimes the influencer can call out a brand, say something negative, like reveal something they were not supposed to, and all. Like a lot of influencers could get blacklisted.
Got it. Internationally, who do you consider as an inspiration or somebody who's like really killed it in the content space?
Ditto. So the name is DYTTO, and basically she is the reason I started tutting. Actually, she used to have YouTube tutorials about tuttings and all, and that's how I started my journey.
Got it. What's the future for Ishika, the content creator?
I think, see, a lot of the platforms might keep changing. I think it depends on the creator to be relevant. YouTube got banned. I came on Instagram. Instagram
TikTok
is
got
going.
banned, yeah.
Sorry, TikTok got banned. I came on Instagram. While doing Instagram, I was on YouTube. I know the platforms will keep changing, but like I think the future of me would be keep changing, basically.
And Ishika, the SaaS entrepreneur, what's the future for that?
I think SaaS is gonna eventually be really big in everywhere. India is gonna reach there, and until that happens, I'm gonna get into services and have the platform of the SaaS.
Got it. If it was not going to be dancing videos for content creation, what would you be doing for content?
For content, right now I feel like I could also be creating content on mentalism, because I am a mentalist, and I've actually posted only one video about mentalism, which was literally the last week. But I've not got into creating content on that yet, but maybe eventually.
Got it. Perfect. Last question. The best kept secret of Ishika right now, which your followers will know post this.
I'm a very open person. I feel like you post so much on social media, like there's not secrets per se. But okay, I'll say one thing. I like the taste of coffee a lot, but I don't drink coffee that much because the caffeine gets me jitters. I usually when I go, like I have like decaf. So when I go to Starbucks, I get like a decaf. Like
Okay,
yeah.
great. Listen, Ishika, this has been wonderful. I don't say this often, but whenever I see somebody, right, like it's not my gray hair because I don't have any, but after teaching like thousands of students, it's come like a natural thing to me to actually, even at a boot camp, right? Like when somebody's 16, 17, it's easy to recognize that, somebody is going to make it big. I still remember that conversation which I had with you, right? And it's been what, about like 5 years? No, more, like six years, right? But I still remember it. I still remember the conversation subsequently I had with my admissions team that, hey, you know what? We need this person in the class. And it's just been a very beautiful journey seeing you grow in all directions, right? The consulting idea, the content creation, the SaaS venture. And I think it's just going to be a even more exciting journey for you to really, really grow. And I'm happy that I got a chance to teach you for a very small period of time, but learn a lot from you in this.
Learned a lot from you.
I'm very, very proud of you.
Thank you so much. I think I think the first time we had that boot camp, I remember that one statement about find the problem, then the solution. I think that's just been like the motto of my entrepreneurship journey at this point, where I see things from a very different perspective just because of that one statement. And I think it did have a really big impact on me.
Lovely. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.